Welcome back to the channel, guys. Different kind of video today. I'm going to tell you which of my cars is my favorite vehicle to rent on Turo, and might surprise you. So about a little over a year ago, when Turo made out a big change in how they do the their claims process. They started adding deductibles to the claims process. I immediately started making moves on what vehicles I wanted to rent on Turo and what vehicles I didn't want to rent on Turo. And the first thing I did was I eliminated any vehicles that were easy to damage and or high damage rates, and that I couldn't get top dollar for. So obviously C8 I can get super high dollar amounts, so it's worth the risk to have the damage claims that are inevitably going to come with it. I started also purchasing other vehicles. You're going to see a lot of my fleet are different style of vehicles than you would normally see on Turo because of the process of I don't have the time I try to eliminate damage claims as much as possible. I don't have time chasing it down. I don't have time working with the Turo representatives and the frustrations that go with that. You're going to have damage claims in this business, but if I can eliminate a lot of it, then that's a good thing and less time that I have to deal with. So let's jump in. C8's definitely not my most enjoyable car to rent on Turo, although it's, as far as a cash cow, it is a beast. A couple news cars here. That's a Prius Prime. If you haven't seen my video from last week, I think every new host should target that vehicle and try to buy one of those within the next couple months. Another new vehicle, the GX460, another new purchase. I got to do a video on all my new purchases and why, but neither one of those is or will be my favorite car for Turo. So we're going to take a little walk here, and I will show you exactly what that's going to be. Forgive the wind. But let me introduce you to you. It's a Chevrolet ZR2 Bison. And if you're not familiar with the vehicle, it's a pretty awesome vehicle in its own regard. But more importantly, it's possibly the most Turo-proof vehicle that I've ever found. And I've been doing this for a little while. I'll show you what's kind of cool about it. So first of all, it's got a 2-inch lift from the factory, maybe 2.5 inch, but 2-inch lift of the factory, so it's lifted up off the ground. The wheels, it's got those dark wheels, which a lot of times people worry about scraping up the wheels, but the tires on this thing are Durtrack Wranglers, which gives you this kind of nubby thing, so it's pretty much very difficult to actually get to the rim. So no curb damage, no rim damage. No damage underneath the vehicle. Again, it's high up to where, check this out. The difference between the ZR2 and the ZR2 Bison is the Bison it's about a $6,000 option from the factory, and a company called AEV does it, and they do a lot of off-road overlanding type equipment and so forth, but basically they build a custom body armor kit for this truck, and you can see this is literally steel, boron steel all the way around. You can see these little those off-roaders know you hook this up to like pull yourself out if you get stuck or whatever, but it sticks out far away from the bumper to where, forget like people scraping up your cars like when it's parked on the street. I don't really worry about that with this vehicle. So I put this little cheap cover on it. Let me just fire this thing up here. So I put this cover on it. This makes it really a nice vehicle for people who are traveling into town. Maybe they got 4 or 5 people, and then they need room for luggage, and they really like it. So this is something you need to add when you have a truck like this. Also, the size of the truck and the small bed, it prevents people from using it to like moving furniture and that kind of stuff. So that kind of keeps those kind of people out from renting it. But it's a great looking truck. And again, boron steel bumpers in the front, which is an extremely light but very hard steel. This is steel. It's a very difficult vehicle to damage and destroy. On the inside, it's also great. Let's do a little quick. This thing hasn't been cleaned yet from a renter, but black leather seats. I mean, easy to wipe down, clean. Obviously, you got different stuff like wireless charging and all that kind of stuff, but you got mats, all-weather mats. Even the interior is like freaking ridiculously easy. So I use this truck for a lot of different reasons. As far as in the business. Also, it's got a regular key, so it's not a key fob. So as far as checking things out, I can literally leave the key in there. I have OnStar, so I can lock it up remotely, unlock it remotely. It's an extremely easy vehicle to check in and out, and I don't have to worry about damage claims. And it, you know, I'm not saying this is my top cash car vehicle, but you know, as far it brings in plenty, you know, enough. It pays for the payments and then some, and it's an extremely high residual vehicle. When I bought this vehicle, the residual on this vehicle was about 72%, which means on like a 2 to 3 year lease, the vehicle's going to hold 72% of the value from new. And if you can get a good deal on this, I bought this truck when Chevy offered 12% off of MSRP. This is going back about a year, a little over a year ago. And so the higher the price of the vehicle, the bigger the discount was. And so this truck, between the rebate money and then a slight discount from the dealership, you know, I was able to get this truck, a $50,000 truck, for like close to the $40,000 range. The other thing I use this vehicle for is vehicle swaps. So, you know, I had my Acura broke down in the middle of Baltimore City, and anytime I'm renting like nice stuff down there, I'm concerned about it being parked on the street. If the renter, it may not be damage the renter does, but you know, somewhat drunk driver, people scraping up the bumpers and all that kind of stuff, you don't really have to worry about with this one. So I'll do it for vehicle swaps. Usually if they got like a cheaper car, I swap it out to something like this. Because this thing doesn't rent out all month long, but it's a great vehicle for vehicle swaps because I don't have to worry about like, you know, stuff on it, and usually the people are like super cool and happy with it. But that's my input. This is my favorite vehicle to rent on Turo because of the convenience and virtually almost Turo-proof. All right, guys. Until next time. If you're going to play the game, stay smart, have fun, and protect your assets. See you guys.